Welcome, travelers. I'm Josh.
And I'm Lee Wanika. And this is Tabletop Journeys, where we will be your not-so-humble guides on the quest for RPG adventures.
All right, welcome everybody to the next Class Warfare based on the 2024 rules. Very excited to be sitting across the digital table from friends, co-hosts, and they're friends too. But yeah, let's go around the room, just introduce everybody, say hi. First of all, from the RPG Academy and Tabletop Journeys, this year going to Gen Con with a Tabletop Journeys media badge. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Ross. Michael, how are you, sir?
I'm doing exceptionally well. Anyone who knows me knows that I love wizards. They're my favorite class. I got to be the diviner, which is my favorite subclass. I am ready to go tonight.
So, spoiler alert: tonight's Class Warfare is going to be wizards. So that's and Michael's playing the diviner. Michael, what can you tell us about your right? Yes. What can you tell us about your diviner?
My diviner is named Sai. He is a 7'11" Goliath who used to have an 8 intelligence, but was guided by divine prophecy to find a like a body of loot and got a intellect of headband, which makes him have a 19 intelligence, which is my magic item, and I have thus pursued the ways of magic. So if you've seen the TV show Reacher, I look exactly like Alan Ritchson, except slightly taller by about a foot, but otherwise exactly the same. And yes, my highest stat is Constitution, other than the fact that I have a magical headband that gives me 19 intelligence, and my other magic item is a potion of healing.
I like it. That's amazing.
Also, if you know the Goliath, they have like the sort of the swirly, almost like tribal tattoo sort of configuration. Mine changes daily, and that's what I study myself in like a mirror or water, and that is how I get my divine prophecy.
Oh, sort of like that movie with the guy that had all the stuff tattooed on him, and every morning he would look in the mirror because he didn't have any memories from the day before.
Memento.
Yeah. Memento, nothing like that, but I love that movie. I am going to roll my 2 portents because those are the coolest thing about this subclass. And so for your knowledge, I have a 15 and a 19. So during the game, I can replace any roll with one of those 2 until they are gone.
That's pretty hot. I like that.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, all right. From the D&D Lorecast, friend of the show, and friend in our hearts as well, Mr. Sergio. How are you doing, Sergio? Hope that things are well down in the Southwest. I guess technically is where you're.
Tejas.
I think you're on mute though.
I muted myself, so just in case anything was going on, I didn't want to, make any ruckus while Michael was talking, and then I forgot to unmute myself because, we've been doing this for years, and we're still going to forget to unmute ourselves, and and Zoom meetings and Zencaster and all sorts of things. Hello, my name is Sergio, host of the Dungeons and Dragons Lorecast. I am playing the Abjurer. They are an elf by the name of Ale Kazam. And their magical item is a staff, which I'm keeping the exact details of which a little close to the chest. Hopefully I'll be able to use this staff at an opportune moment during this encounter that Leguinica is inevitably going to try to kill us all in. But they do have a magical staff. The other item they have is a boomerang, very much in the Abjurer, very much along that line of an Abjurer. Like my spell list is very much buffs, nerfs, very much the defensive and trying to help the other party members. I really only have like one offensive spell, which is Magic Missile, because you can't be a wizard and not have Magic Missile. But just in case, like Mike and I were talking before we were recording, best to have at least something offensive just in case, things go south.
Yeah. Yep.
I tend to rely on my personality for the offensive bit, but
his personality is plenty offensive. It's true.
So, I just needed to get that joke out of the way because Josh was revving the engine.
Yep, I've been edging Lunica for years. It's true. And so,
Yep.
yeah.
All right. And Sergio, how about some base important stats for me?
All right, I have 44 hit points, an armor class of 12, a little squishy wizard. My passive perception is 10.
Excellent. Excellent.
Fantastic. All right, so from 19 Hits the Dragon and the realm of professional dungeon mastering, Mr. Mike Daniel, how are things in Chi-Town today?
They're good. You guys still haven't managed to get rid of me yet, so
No, it's
you're
true.
all
It's true.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Happy to be here and be back with you guys, and on the player side of the table this time. I'm Mike Daniel from 19 Hits the Dragon. You might know me, and from other appearances on the show here. And today I will be playing a halfling wizard by the name of Silly Wagon Blast. Silly is about 3 feet tall. And he is kind of an older gentleman, going a little bit bald up top. Just had his 11th birthday. And he is an evoker. So kind of the penultimate expression of the evoker is, I didn't ask how big the room was, I cast fireball.
Right.
And I can do that because I can shape spells and not hit our friends.
I also think you're probably the only one that took fireball, actually, when we were going around the table. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
Also.
I mean, blowing things up is my whole deal. You can tell from the lighting here, those of you watching, that I set my room on fire as well. So
I like it. Well done. Well done. Excellent. And before I introduce Mr. Lewanika Miller, I will introduce. So obviously, I'm Josh. I will be playing our illusionist tonight. I am playing the human Conjura Majora, who is a street illusionist. He just wanders around from town to town, picking pockets and casting minor illusions at people. He is basically a support toon for the most part, which he's a wizard, so that kind of stands to reason. He's not the offensive wizard kind, he's the supportive wizard kind. My magic item, I did also take a potion of healing, much like Michael, because I think when you're a wizard, potions of healing are very helpful. My other magic item, though, is an ensorcelled short bow. Basically, what the ensorcelled short bow allows me to do is to go ahead and embed a first level necromancy spell into my bow, and I get 6 charges on it. The spell that is in my short bow is Ray of Sickness. So,
I forgot to talk about my stuff.
Yeah.
Other than
Kind
so
of
for my
stuff you
magic
got?
items.
Yeah,
For my magic
go for
items, I took the Wand of the War Mage. And because I couldn't find any like common magic items that I liked, I just took a pipe of smoke monsters.
nice. That's perfect for a halfling, though. Like that's
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he'll be smoking on his pipe and creating some flumps and stuff.
Yep.
My
like
passive perception, by the way, is 20. Sorry, that's passive investigation. My passive perception is only 11, so not that good.
Yep.
And then my hit points are 44.
Yeah.
AC is 15 because I preemptively cast Mage Armor on myself.
I have also preemptively cast Mage Armor on myself, which boosted my AC all the way up to 12. I have 38 hit points, a passive perception of 13, and an initiative of -1. So that brings us up to last but certainly not least, running tonight's wizardly scenario, Mr. Lewanika Miller. Lewanika, how are things down in the fantabulous state of Connecticut this evening?
Things are cold, like crazy cold. It was dreary and miserable, and then the sun tried to peek through, and then the cold went out again, and it dawned on me that this was quite appropriate because we're playing D&D, and it's going to get dark. So, no, I've been having a really good and busy couple of weeks. Had a great convention not too long ago, and this weekend was filled with amazing role-playing games with our actual play cast on the Star Trek game, and prep for some of the other things that we've got coming up, including several upcoming convention appearances. I've got one in March for Drinking and Dragons and 2 in April. Utopia, Tabletop Utopia in Hartford, Connecticut, early in April. And then later in April, I've got Rising Phoenix, which will be in Milford, Mass. And I'm really looking forward to those events. I've got a lot of games coming up. I've got 6 at one of those, 4 at another, and 1 at the One Session Con that I'm going to this month.
Excellent. All right. Well,
bragging about all these conventions he gets to go to.
I know, right? Yeah. You know.
Press the flesh, meet the people, roll them dice.
Mad jelly.
Well, without any further ado, Luanika, the scenario, like we said, tonight is yours. And tonight we're going to be trying something a little bit different. We're going to be running Theater of the Mind instead of with the map. So, it's all yours, my friend. Have at it.
Absolutely. So we're going to get started right away. I'm not going to do a whole lot of delay here. Essentially, there's a wee bit of backstory. This particular adventure is going to take place in the fallen city of Greystone, which fell to onslaught attack about 2 years in the past. The 4 wizards we see were previously called to the Driftwood Athenaeum of Bridgedwell, where they were hired by a former lord of Greystone to retrieve some special items from a secret vault. They have hired the Outriders League to lead them there safely, so we don't go through all of that. We're picking up as you arrive through a secret location within the walls of the fallen city. The army that went through has actually left. The city is largely unpopulated, but some of those goblinoid remnants are about. So quiet is always important. Being unnoticed, not making a lot of noise, and certainly not a lot of light if it's dusk becomes very important, because you could bring on many more difficult and dangerous enemies than
Sai
what you're
has
there
his
to
first vision of the future. This is not going to go well for me.
So we are going to pick up, as I said, right at the start, almost in the thick of the scope of getting to the building. You do know what you're looking for. You're going to a temple that was previously hit by siege weapons. So the temple, nobody knows the exact condition of the upper level of the temple, but it is assumed the lower levels remain intact. However, they may or may not be pillaged. They have no idea what might be within any of these areas, because nobody from the Nobles family, at least, has been to this temple since they evacuated the city 2 years ago. Where we start,
just to clarify too, Luanika, we are recovering items that were lost when the city fell to siege, not liberating items from their current owners, correct?
That is what you have been told, yes.
So as far as this noble knows, these items are safe and sound in the vault, but they very well could have been already pillaged and be in the hands of...
Correct. He's basically sending you to get to the items because they were there. When they evacuated, they could not take them at that time. Part of the reason for that is the vault is magical and requires those with arcane power and knowledge in order to open the vault. So, and specifically, it takes 4 spellcasters to do so.
Do we know what we would need to do to open it? Like, have we had to open this vault before?
You have not, and that's part of the thing. These items have been vaulted and safe for so long, the Lord doesn't even know. He just knows that they're there. So you're going to be on it's effectively an investigation and retrieval mission, but you can expect conflict.
Do we know what sort of creatures or folks are currently occupying the fallen city?
It was attacked by a massive goblinoid army and their denizens, but they also teamed up with lots of different species. Nobody really knows what remains. None of the good people of Bridgewell have been there since. So for 2 years, it's been sight unseen.
Okie dokie.
The Outriders are not going into the city. They are going to secure your exit. Basically, somewhere outside of the city, there's an underground tunnel. They lead you to that. They have scouted the tunnel. They know the safe route. It has been marked effectively. They're going to stay on the outside to secure your exit. They're telling you have 12 hours to return. By the time you get to the inner city exit of the tunnels, you're down to about 4 to 5 hours, give or take. And we will begin. The city is in utter ruins. You can smell ash. There are fires. There are sounds in the distance, so you're quite convinced that some of these goblinoids or vagabonds or even monsters might be somewhere throughout the city. So the advice about staying quiet, staying unnoticed, does seem to be apropos. But you have some reconnoitering around the town to get to the temple. You have a rudimentary map. You know from where you are to where the temple is. You can even see a couple, one of the towers that was not destroyed, and then you can see the remnants of one of the towers that had fallen. And what would you like to do?
So we see fires likely created by someone or something, not naturally created. We hear noises like animal noises, humanoid noises.
Humanoid noises. If you'd like to make a perception check, I can probably give you some more details on the specifics of what you hear.
I would, and I will roll a straight flat 20 because I have a 0 on my perception. Not very perceptive type. And I rolled a 6. No, I rolled a 9.
Yeah, so you can hear the noises. You're pretty sure they're coming from east, west, north, possibly south end or of you.
They're all around us.
Yeah.
We're
But
surrounded.
they do seem like they're fairly far off. There doesn't seem to be a lot of folks in this particular area.
We're going to die here.
Well, I don't think that there's any reason to dally then. We should hurry to where we're going, get what we're here for, and GTFO.
I agree.
All right, so who's leading the way?
I think the big guy should take the lead.
Surely the stealthiest of us, yes.
Yes. All right. Sai will move to the front. And of course, he'll say, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I can get out of here.
He is pretty big.
All right. I will start moving stealthily, surprisingly stealthy for my large size, but not stealthily for someone of a normal size, through the city, stopping every few minutes to listen.
Okay.
And then go until something interesting happens.
I'll stay less than a round of movement behind him, like within 30 feet of him.
Okay. If you'd be so kind as to roll stealth first and then your perception check.
Stealth and then what?
Perception.
Got it. Stealth is a 14 total.
Okay.
And perception is a 6 total.
All right. So as you listen, pretty much as Alakazam, you hear noises from all around, nothing particularly discernible, but you make it through. You don't seem to think you're garnering a lot of attention. The rest of the party follows. They're basically following in your lead.
I do think it should be difficult because I step over things that they have to go around.
How many
I
of
can
you
climb
are
over
actually
them. It's
small
fine.
folks?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I am 7'11".
At within a few minutes, probably 10 to 15 minutes, you do approach the steps of the of the temple. Now, there's a crack in the south tower, the one that was destroyed that you saw from a distance, where you could get in that way. There is the main entrance, which is basically an open archway into the central foyer area of this temple. And then the north wall has been utterly demolished, and there's a gaping hole into that same area and into other areas of the upper level of the temple.
All right, I will look to my companions. Do you have a point of entry you're more interested in approaching?
I see the crack in the wall.
The small crack or the
I
big
can
one?
probably fit through there. The small one.
Okay.
I can fit through there, I know.
Let's send Silly through the crack.
Okay.
All right,
So-
hold on. I would like to use my first spell here, if you'll indulge me. I am a diviner after all. I have the augury spell. I can ask an otherworldly entity if sending Silly through the small hole. Good idea or not?
Okay.
All right, so casting time is a minute. So I need people to make sure that nothing happens while I do this. And then I basically can get one of 4 results. Wheel, that's a good thing. Whoa, it's a bad thing. Wheel and whoa, good and bad. Indifference, neither good nor bad. So what does this otherworldly entity believe that sending Silly first through the small crack would be?
Wheel and whoa.
Got it.
Josh, I think you're muted.
I am muted, yeah. So while he's casting his spell for the minute during his casting time, I want to kind of explore the area a little bit here, kind of look around a little bit, see if there's anything that we're obviously missing. I mean, we see these 3 kind of points of entry, but see if there's anything that we're obviously missing, you know, the staff of fireballs laying in the grass or whatever like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I would also like to investigate the area while we're waiting, if possible.
Sure. So as you're looking about, are you kind of tactile searching? Are you just giving a good glance? What's your process, Josh?
I could imagine that Conjura's not one necessarily to get his hands dirty. He values his prestidigitation too much to be able to go ahead and do that. So I imagine that as he's like kind of walking around, I can see him like, you know, like kind of sweeping things out of the way with prestidigitation, you know, kind of like moving grasses and everything like that. He wants to get a good look, but he's not likely to go ahead and get his hands muddy.
Okay. A perception check would be sufficient then.
It'll be a natural 20.
Excellent. So you notice there are several other possible entrances. The crack that Silly was considering going is the smallest of them, but it's still about 5 feet, so everybody should be able to get through. Your diviner with a little more difficulty than the rest of you. But there are other cracks in the walls at various other places on this level. You also notice there's a lot of standing water, like just puddles of water, possibly from the last rains or what have you. And there's just a foul odor around. And you're noticing that it is more prominent around here than it was where you exited the tunnels. Like the city doesn't smell good currently anyway, but it seems to be worse around this area.
So the temple smells worse than the rest of it? Basically, is that okay?
Ooh, that smell.
All right. I will after doing my investigation, I will come back and I will relay that information that there are some larger cracks that we could go through as opposed to this tiny one here. But the odor that is around in the city, I think it's actually originating from here. So we're gonna maybe there's like undead, either piles of dead or undead on the inside. I can't tell you for sure, but whatever it is that's stinky it's stinky from here.
A pile of undead. Is that the unit of measurement,
Is that
like a
yes.
gaggle of geese.
I thought it
Yep.
was a scattering.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
So-
don't like to see more than one undead at any time. So
A mound?
The term is
Okay.
collective noun, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
interesting.
I think that all different undead have different, like you've got like a shambling of zombies, a coffin of skeletons.
Yeah,
You know,
we're losing the point here. Are we gonna send Silly
Yeah,
through the hole, through the crack or not?
You
Is he
definitely
going in the
should put
crack?
the short guy through the crack.
yes.
Putting him in the crack.
yes.
I can fit. I'll go. You don't
Yes.
even have to ask
He can
twice. I'll do
fit.
it.
He
What-
can fit. He said he could fit.
Oh,
If he
it's
says
not
he can
about-
fit, you gotta
it's not a
believe he
matter of
can
the
fit.
fitting. We have a guy that can tell us like whether that's a good idea or not. Like, is it a good
Well,
idea?
A
was
minute
a-
has passed.
It was a good
And-
idea and a bad idea. So I still think I'm okay.
I
but
think
he
it's
might
a
be
good
home.
idea.
All
All right.
Well, then, are you
I
my
mean-
otherworldly contact? Did
I
you
mean,
just tell me that?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm from this world. So
Oh,
I think it's a good idea. So that's 3
Sure.
against 1.
if it's a good idea and a bad
I'm not
idea, then
saying
it's a
no.
good idea.
Yeah, good idea. How about it? Throw him in.
All right. So you enter through that crack in the southern tower, and you are behind a series of pillars. The sun is setting at this time, so this area is heavily shadowed. It would be dark in here, but because of the breach in that north wall, there is a fair amount of light. This is a very large open space, probably. That was me doing math. 16 times 5, Josh, what's that?
80.
80.
80 by 80
is
by 80 by
big.
60 feet is this area, and there are pillars all over the place. Some of those pillars have been destroyed. This is that open area that has the archway too. You're just kind of coming into it instead of the main way into it. At the eastern side of this room, on the eastern wall, there's a staircase that goes large, wide, 10-foot wide staircase that goes up about 20 feet and leads into the temple.
And do we know where the vault is? Is it up through there or?
They said the vault was in the lower level. So as far as
okay.
where the entrance to the lower level is, you were not told that.
Okay. Well, we have to go into the temple, and this looks like a good entrance. Is there anybody around?
yeah. You should ask. Yeah, ask people where the vault is.
No, that's not why I want to sneak past them. I'm not going to ask them.
Is there a
Uh,
ring? Ding, ding, hello.
Yeah.
Concierge.
I mean, or we could blow them up. But
Ding ding.
How
Yeah.
would you like to determine if there's anybody around?
I guess probably through perception. I would like to listen and look.
Okay.
I don't know that investigation could really be used here, but that would probably be better stats wise. But
Perception is probably what you have at the ready. So go for perception.
okay, that's a 13.
So you don't see anybody, but you do see, even in this area, that there are damaged and destroyed tiles. There seem to have been almost like relief paintings, frescoes in the tiles. So the floor was at one point well colored, probably well maintained 2 years ago, but obviously has fallen into great disrepair. But there are lots of these puddles, and the water just looks sickly.
Like, okay, guys, I don't see anybody. There's more of the gross water in here, but I don't see anybody around. So I think we're good to continue sneaking up to the temple entrance.
Is it okay if I come in the main way? It's a bigger opening.
I guess.
Okay.
How
I'll meet
far
you inside.
how far is this southern tower
It's-
crack from the main entrance?
It's about 40 feet. It's just the main entrance is open to the major part of the city. So this is it's got like a large courtyard. If you're in the main, if you go in the main door, if there was anybody within like 80 to 100 feet of this area at this time of dusk, they would see you walking in the front door.
So yeah, it might be better to just try and squeeze through the crack here, and then we can keep to the side.
Will,
Go
will
around.
we all fit in the crack? Like, let's. Yeah.
I mean, one at a time.
Yeah. I'll push my
That
way
would
in.
be polite.
You just have to ask first. It's okay.
Does anyone have grease prepared? I might need to get lubed up.
Let's see what I've got in my inventory.
I wasn't
no.
going to touch it, but
I've got oil.
Well, that's also flammable. Let's see if I can get through dry, and then we will adjust as needed.
It's not a D&D game unless somebody says, "Grease me up, woman."
So I'm just normal. I'm normal sized,
Yeah.
and so I squeeze in.
Yeah, I will politely go last as the largest individual.
And this podcast is rated S for sophomore humor.
watch
You're
him
able to
get
get
stuck
through.
like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, you're able to get
Oh,
through
bother.
fine.
Stop it.
At the very least, it is it's past the 75 years, so we can do all
That's
the
right,
Winnie the
yep.
Pooh jokes
That's
we
right.
want.
That's right. You don't have to worry about getting sued. That's right.
Yeah. The estate of AM1 can't touch us at this point.
I
So
think
you
I think we should retcon your character, Michael, to only be wearing a shirt. By the way,
Yes,
Like,
that
no
does
bottom.
make sense because he's so large. He's hard to find clothes. So I have like a tent flap that I've used as a toga.
Can't shop it like a big and tall. Like that's that's
Yeah. Oh goodness! So you're able to successfully get through. Even your Goliath is able to get through. You're behind the area that has functional pillars. So the roof that's 40 to 50 feet above you is actually in good repair on this side. It does look as though the siege weapons hit the other wall, and that's where most of the damage came through.
So we
there
see
are-
a staircase
Should we-
going up.
Yep. And you have there's a lot of cover and shadows because you were behind the pillars, and this is the area of this open section that happens to be enshadowed as the sun is starting to set.
And do the pillars like lead along the wall that are going up to the staircase, so we could like stay behind them
Absolutely.
and go to the stairs?
Yep, you can go around. You can
Shimmy
go
around
around
this way, guys.
and then come up. You do have to kind of. There is a small, brief moment where you'd have to get onto the stairs, where you have to kind of be directly in front of the opening.
Naturally,
But
yeah.
So you're able to stay in cover. As you're going and you get to the stairs, what would any of you like to do?
Anybody think to prepare light? It's gonna get dark in here soon. No,
Well, I got plenty of fire to light things up with.
that's fair. Yeah. So,
I mean, I have a lamp.
there you go. Yeah.
Lamps have light. It's literally all they do.
Well, we know that we want to go downstairs, so I guess going upstairs to start to kind of investigate around makes sense. But we know we want to go downstairs. Like that's so. Let's just kind of keep that in mind that we're going up a level from where we don't want to be.
To clarify, you're not really going up a level. This is like a giant cathedral where you go up the stairs to enter the building. This just happens to have an enclosed front area.
Yeah.
You're kind of like in the foyer that's covered, and now you're going into the temple by going up these inner stairs.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and send it over to the door and see if it opens.
So there is no door.
There's no door. Oh,
yeah,
it's just
it's.
Oh,
This
well,
is
never
filled
mind
with
then.
arches, but there is an altar right at the top of those stairs that is completely enshrouded in shadows. It is dark, enough to see and get around, but it is dark such that everything is enshadowed in here. So everybody goes upstairs. Is that what I'm getting, or the mage hand is the only thing that's in that area so far?
Yeah, let's just go. I say we don't see anything around, so
Yeah. Let's do it.
let's go.
All right.
Yep.
What's the
I
worst
will
that could
follow.
happen?
So you do get into that darkened area, and as you're walking, you do notice that you are stepping in probably 2 to 3 inches of this foul-smelling liquid.
That's like up to my shins, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Could we get like a medicine check or an investigation check to kind of determine like, is this water
Yeah.
just like water, or is is it like poisoned, or like is it going to make us sick or something like that? Because like Conjura does not want the runs, so
Well, I'm already up front. I can do an investigation check to see if.
Okay. How about an investigation check to collect enough to kind of then do a medicine check? So, since Josh, you came up with the medicine idea, we'll go that you'll handle
Can
the
I
medicine.
assist?
yeah, I was gonna say, can I like help him? Do my medicine check and help him so that he gets the investigate.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. All right. So let me take the help. Yeah. So basically, if I'm helping, that'll basically just give you advantage, Mike.
Give me advantage.
Yep.
Cool. And I got a +10 on this. So 27.
Ooh. This is not water,
I knew
but
it.
it is also not poison. This is
It's
Pee-pee.
The story of a girl.
viscera.
this is
Blood.
inert acid.
Oh. Oh no.
Mountain Dew.
Yes.
Don't drink it.
Mountain don't.
Mountain didn't.
Mountain shouldn't.
I can't take away inspiration, but I really, really want to, Sergio.
We don't have inspiration yet.
Unless one of us is a human.
There are no humans.
Oh, I'm a
It's
human.
crazy.
No, that's not, I'm a human. That's true.
Then you have some. You start every day with.
You start
every day with
after
one.
Well, there we go.
a long rest.
After every long rest. That's part of the new 2020 humans. 2024 humans. All right.
There we go.
So you have some inert
guys,
acid.
this is acid. Acid's
So-
probably not good.
Arcana or survival. Like, what causes this? Is this a natural phenomenon? Is there a type of animal or creature that exudes liquid
Dragon.
that becomes an acidified acid?
Yeah. So please give me a survival check.
Survival.
I'm a survivor.
It's the eye of the gelatinous cube.
That is a 6.
You're pretty sure that acid is formed when somebody eats bad fish.
Okay. I made some acid last night.
Yeah.
That's
Got some gaseous forms going on right now, too, if you know what I mean.
If this is acid, how come it's not burning my feet? Think about that.
It's inert. It's been what's the word?
if it was in your boots, it would be.
I'm not
it'd be-
in. I'm
it'd
not
be
in
burning your
Earth.
feet,
I'm
but it's
in the
inert.
temple.
No, it's the
Inert.
acid is it's ineffective now. It doesn't work anymore. It's
Oh, somebody
It's been
sold this
used up.
guy. Somebody sold this guy bad acid. I knew.
hey,
I knew a guy in high school like that.
yeah, don't trust the brown one. That's the bad one.
Do not trust the brown one. That's correct.
I love and hate you all simultaneously and in equal measure.
I was trying to come up with like a
killing
musical
Josh right
joke,
now.
like
It's great.
we had a
Yeah.
bass player and now it's inert, but couldn't get there.
I was thinking it's not in a yurt; it's inert, but that's a whole other. That's an
Inert.
It's out your.
It's like
Out
when
here.
it's when you rub your feet, then you stick your cleats in. You get inert.
Yep. I would say, with your overall intelligences, you would definitely know that if acid sat around long enough, eventually it would not hurt anything. It doesn't change what it is. It just means all of its properties
denatures,
as far
yeah.
as it are diminished to the point where it's not going to hurt you. You wouldn't want to drink it. You wouldn't want to make stew with it, but basically it's not going to hurt anything at this point.
The siege weapons that like looking at the cracks in the wall, the big one on the north, does it look like it was something like physical came through, or did it get eaten by acid? Like, is it melted? No, broken or melted, I guess.
I actually burned, so whatever hit it was physical and exploded. There are shards of metal all over the floors and stuff. This looks like something that happened after the fact.
Gotcha. Okay.
So having said that, we would know that acid would eventually lose a lot of its, acidic properties. How long would it be? Like, would we know that? How long it would take for that to happen?
Please give me an investigation check.
Well, that is a 15.
It would probably take a while. I would say maybe a couple of days if it's a less potent acid. If it was extremely strong, it might be even a couple of weeks. But essentially, eventually, any liquid acid would lose its potency. The fact that this whole area is stone, that acid wouldn't go through stone. So that's why it kind of pooled up in some areas. Eventually, it'll actually evaporate. It just hasn't yet. So this is probably anywhere from 24 hours to a couple weeks old, depending on the strength of whatever the acid would be.
All right. I would like to go ahead and, before we go any further, I'd like to see if I can justify an insight check here, because I want to kind of get a feeling for what could we possibly be facing as we're going in here. Like, are we just literally having to go through the vault and just go to the vault and find the thing, or do we really think there's the possibility of running into bad guys here? And so I'm thinking of creatures that could produce acid. What sort of minions would they have? And how many of those minions would linger around for somewhere between 24 hours and 2 weeks after whatever the master creature that was producing the acid was there? Are we, how long would any thrall of that sort of thing stick around? Or are we really dealing with this would have been really nasty to go ahead and come to 2 weeks ago, but now that we're here, we're good. So can I try to go ahead and think through what our situation is probably here?
I think a history check would be appropriate. You were all learned scholars. You're of 6th level, so you've been around the block a little bit.
I'm way more wise. I'm way more streetwise than I am smart, which is why I'm hoping for insight. I know people. I know how people function.
He knows people who knows people.
I will allow insight in this case, and at the end of this episode, kindly ask me why I changed my mind on that, because there is a very specific reason.
I like it.
And it does have to do with that specific statement. I know people.
I like it. I'm asking because I'm a +9 in insight and a +2 in history. So that's, that's going to be a 28 on my insight check.
Yeah, you're pretty convinced that if it was made by a creature, it probably wouldn't have thralls unless it's an intelligent creature. An intelligent creature, you could still be facing dangers, or they could have gotten whatever they wanted and left. If it is just people using effects, you could also be dealing with them here. As well. So it really depends on which way it goes. You don't have based on what you have now, you don't have enough. But if it's natural to supernatural beastie, that probably isn't going to have a thrall. It's either still here and hidden, or it left and you don't have to worry about it. If it's people, it depends on if they got what they came here for.
Yeah, if it's people setting up a trap, then, or of some sort, or at least a distraction or a some sort of disincentive to continue on, this could be a whole lot of bluster. And if we can ignore the bluster, then we can probably get down to what's actually going on the inside. But this might be a whole lot of hooey.
Could be. Yep.
Okay. I will relay that. I will relay that information that we're either dealing with one big bad that is here or not here, but not a lot of like underlings, or someone set a really bad trap or set a trap that was pretty good a couple weeks ago and is no longer that good, and they may still be on the inside, or they may have also gotten their stuff and left. But chances, like, we're not going to be facing, like, my horde of undead idea was maybe not a good idea to start. This seems way more likely that whatever was here looking for something is probably gone.
And I would also say, based on the previous rolls, you are now aware that all of this standing destabilized acid is what's creating the nasty smell. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Given his assurity, then let's continue on. Let's carry on.
Okay.
See if we can find
While everybody was kind of trying to suss out the nature of the pools of acid and stuff, the altar that's in this particular area does have insets, 3 separate insets that in it or 4 separate insets that appear to be had something there that was pried out.
Are there still like marks then from where it was when it was pried out? There's like marring of the wood and okay.
It's a stone altar, but you can see how it was
okay.
basically chiseled. Whatever was there was stuck there, and it has been chiseled out.
what is the iconography on the altar? I'm assuming that's some sort of stone or something that was cut out of it. What is the iconography on the altar?
So this is this particular temple is a temple to a deity of nobility. This was a popular noble in Greystone that speaks to strength and such like that. This deity is worshipped in lots of places and can have different iconography depending on who's worshiping. Here, there does appear to have been stones or small, like, handheld objects, like circular objects that were in these insets. They seem to have been pried out of the altar itself. And there is a small dish, almost like a brazier, in the center of that altar that looks like somebody was trying to pry that out and basically broke it. And you can see the shattered remains of this metal brazier.
So they're like sort of small circular things.
Correct.
So like maybe stone temple pilettes.
Nice.
That's for you, Sergio.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yep. That was a sublime joke, Mike. That was very nice.
Yeah.
Well, this is all well and good, but we're not here to look at altars. We're here to get into the vault and get these magic items.
Yeah.
So whatever's
I've
getting
been
looted
standing
here.
around for way too long. Let's just go.
Yeah.
All right.
This place gives me the willies.
There is a small entranceway to the north. You can see light coming in where it meets that giant explosion hole to the north. There is a kind of corner to the south where there's a little bit of there's like an alcove that's slightly out of sight from where you are to the south. And then there's another open archway to the east.
And which way is kind of the majority of the like if we were coming up the stairs from the courtyard,
east is where the majority of the building goes. You're probably about halfway through the total footprint of the structure. You're at the midpoint of the structure, so you can definitely go further east. You cannot go too much further south or north because that's basically the width of the building versus the length.
I say we continue east then.
Well, why don't we check north and south first? If those are small areas, let's check them first and see if the stairs down are there. And
oh, right,
yeah,
fine.
You're probably right, but like let's low hanging fruit first.
We could split up.
That's true. Yeah, I mean you know, silly, you go one way, I'll go the other. There's nothing here to worry about, so Right.
Yeah, I don't. We haven't seen anything, so it's
There's
clearly
nothing here.
not guarded.
There's nobody
Sai,
here.
why don't you come with me? Allie, why don't you go with Silly? And
Yeah, that's fine. Silly, you want to go north or south?
Let's go south.
all right, we'll go north.
Okay, we're gonna go with the group going to the north. So for those who are headed north, you go through that small entranceway. You see the opening, and there is a large puddle of this putrid liquid. There are a lot of pit holes in the walls, and that's pretty much what you see here.
Sai, do you have like a stick or something that might be able to like check and see what the depth of the puddle is? Like, if the basement's flooded, like, stick your stick in and see what happens.
I don't really. Is there a small like stone I could toss in to see if it
Sure.
like splashes?
Yep.
Bloop.
It's not terribly deep. Probably, and its depth is based on the fact that the stonework is broken here. So it's about a foot down, but it's more because the floor is broken than liquid coming up from below.
Right.
And I will say, when you do that, you disturb something.
No.
And a small, about 2 foot long, snake
It's a
slithers
sneaky little
out
snake.
of the water straight to the north. You can see it because this is the area that's most lit, and it basically sticks to the shadows, slithers around, and then rapidly strikes at some kind of furry creature that was also crouching in the dark. And you hear the squeals of this rodent-like creature with a beak, and you hear it go, and it whines until its life essence is extinguished.
Wait, did you say small furry creature with a beak?
I did.
Hey guys, we disturbed something.
I turn to Silly like, oh man, what do you think they got going on over there?
Oh, who knows? There's something dying over there. It sounds like though. Hopefully, it's nothing too big.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll scream louder if it is dangerous.
And what you notice is this snake is swallowing a small furry. At first, it looked like a rodent creature, but as it's recoiling from the light and it pivots so it's facing you, but holding it in its mouth, you notice that this is almost like a small owl bear.
Yeah.
Being consumed fully and wholly by this snake.
We're
What would you
I
like
think
to
we
do?
let that happen. I think we let that happen, but definitely
Circle
holler.
of life.
Yeah, I'll definitely holler across the alcove. Say, hey guys, we found a baby owl bear. It's getting eaten though.
Oh, you should have maybe worded that sentence differently. I was excited about the baby owlbear.
I know, I was like, oh,
so
we got a new pet. Oh wait, it's getting eaten.
Yeah, exactly. See?
So is the
Anyway,
snake.
we'll tell them about it later.
The snake was really excited to find a baby owl bear too.
With the group that went to the southern alcove, you see a tattered mural, and it's only tattered at the bottom, and it seems pretty clear that this mural was edged with some kind of gilded yarn of some kind, and it looks as though somebody simply didn't care about the mural and cut all the edging off, but they did such a bad job, there's little pieces of it there.
Oh, it's
And
like
that's-
gold thread just left over. What is the mural of?
It is a picture of the statue and or 3 statues, and there are 3 braziers in front of the statues, and there are little round items of various colors that are being carried by officiants walking towards the statues.
And this is all we see is this mural.
Yep, that's the only thing
There's
here.
no
Yeah, the
no
floor's red.
other exits or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay.
And
All right.
I
Well,
will
this place is boring. Let's go back the other way.
I will also add that in the mural, three officiants are carrying torches.
And this
Okay.
looks like the entrance to this temple. What we saw earlier.
This looks like almost like a prayer alcove kind of thing. Like
Okay.
people might go here to pray. It's not.
I'm saying what's in the mural. I mean.
Yeah, the mural. It just looks. It doesn't really give a good background. It's literally just the figures there. So it's more of a. It's very Montel Jordan. This is how we do it, kind of thing.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Now I understand.
Don't.
Does the snake?
We should have gone north. They got to see a baby owlbear get eaten.
Yeah.
We just saw some dumb picture.
Does the snake seem to have any interest in anything else that's going on other than eating the owlbear?
It goes back in the water after it has consumed its meal and is fat.
Where's it go? Like, does it just kind of like? Is it just kind of like nesting in the puddle, or?
Yes.
And that would be weird. That a snake is nesting in a puddle of acid, right? And grab a nature check.
But the acid don't acid no more.
Yeah.
It's another natural 20.
Yeah, so weird-ish, but because it's inert, this happens to be what's known as a mangrove salt marsh snake. And these particular critters like brackish, still fetid water, and they like to be in water with which they can hide. You can barely see it's there. If it weren't for the fact that it was bulging, you wouldn't even be able to see it in the water.
Yeah.
Basically, disturbing the water is what caused you to be able to see it and startled it, and then it went out and attacked something that was also there. Basically, the little baby owl bear was stalking you. It took out the owl bear.
Oh, so
We might
that
have to worry
snake is a
about Mama.
friend.
I mean, we did feed it.
Friend snake.
Anybody have animal friendship?
No, but I
Not
do
me.
have a boomerang.
He'll bring it back.
I don't know why you laugh. I'm just trying to help. I don't know why you're laughing.
What'd you guys find on the other side?
Just some dumb pictures.
Just some weird mural. And I'll kind of describe it to them.
Okay.
Does it show where the vault is?
No,
Yeah, it's like a
just
map
kind of
directory. There's an X and it says you are here, and then
Right here?
can
Yeah.
tell you where the
what I was
vault is.
hoping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it doesn't tell us where the vault is.
Nope. It would have been handy though.
Yeah, it would have been very.
It'd
you'd
been
think-
really nice.
You're right.
Although
When
that
we
would
don't
be
have-
maybe a really bad thing to just leave laying around, or in a wall. But I say we go to the east then.
Yep.
Stranger
Agreed.
things have happened.
As you go to the east,
We should watch out to see, like, maybe baby owlbears probably don't hang out by themselves that often. So let's
Would
just.
we know that? Our characters, I mean.
I mean, yeah, fair.
figure,
That's fair.
yeah. Owl
I mean,
bears
it's fair to assume that anything that's a baby probably isn't going to be on its own.
Right.
I was hanging out at barbershops when I was a baby. I don't know about you. And that's a true story.
It shows that I get it now. So, yeah. Yeah, I just, let's just watch, look, it's the first two living things that we've ever seen here were a mangrove, what was it called? A mangrove
salt marsh snake.
mangrove salt marsh snake, which don't generally really live around here, but they live in gross water. So that's fine. We can deal with that. And then a baby owlbear. And I'm suspecting baby owlbear, mama owlbear maybe is,
I mean, yeah, probably.
and probably pissed off that baby owlbear just got eaten by a snake.
Well,
Maybe
Well,
not
then
the
you
top
should
of
send
there's
it to
a,
the snake and not to us. So
maybe there's a mama mango saltwater taffy snake around here that we need to, that will be our friend, because you help feed my baby.
Yeah, fair. It's, it could be.
This world is rife with possibilities.
Yep. It's a
Watch
grand
out for the
illusion.
danger noodles.
Yep.
All right. So moving east, there is a small 5-foot hallway to the south. 5-foot hallway to the north, and then 5 foot ahead, there's a big entranceway, and you can see there are stairs that descend.
Ooh, we're looking
Well,
for
let's
those.
go that way.
Yep. Yeah. Let's go down.
And I'll kind of slap Contra and be like, downstairs.
Yeah.
As
there we
you
go.
enter this room, there are 2 stone altars on either side of the staircase. You can see that there are frescoes on top, and they are identical to the statues that were depicted in the mural.
Hey, those
except
are the
they're-
statues that we saw in that stupid picture.
And they are holding braziers that are in the fresco that are lit.
Wait, so they were lit in the fresco?
They're lit in the fresco, which is basically horizontal on these stone altars, but they were not lit in the mural.
Is this one of those things? And he's saying this out loud. Is this one of those things where like it's like a fire door where you have to like light the braziers to open the door to get into the thing? Like, is there
We can always try.
like is the door even locked? Like, is it?
There's
Is
no
there-
door. It's just a staircase down.
Let's just remember this because this seems weird. Like, why would they? I don't know.
I mean, I can always just light them. I can firebolt them and set them on fire.
Yeah. I mean, that's. Is there any fuel in them?
I mean, I've got prestidigitation, which I have a fire
Also
play.
that.
There are not actual braziers on these. These are frescoes of braziers that are lit.
Oh,
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Basically,
Well,
the
then-
mural showed braziers that were not lit. The frescoes show braziers that are lit to the south, and to the north.
Oh, so it's not statues with braziers; it's pictures of statues with braziers.
Correct.
Pictures of statues of people with braziers.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. So it's not something that. Okay.
And the officiants had torches before us, so they came and brought torches and lit the braziers. And then maybe we'll see in the next statue or the next picture what happens. Or maybe we'll just run into these statues. Let's go downstairs, guys.
Yeah.
All right. As you descend, it gets very, very dark. The stairs are about 10 feet wide. They are fairly steep, but not unwieldy so. And it gets dark by the time you're about 20 or 30 feet below, and it still continues to descend. If you are not of a dark vision species, you have just lost your ability to see.